The Great Depression was such a searing event in world economic history that it seems difficult to see why any world leader would willingly invoke it at the exact time he's trying to talk up the economy. It has no real definition, but depression generally refers to a calamitous economic contraction with mass unemployment that doesn't rectify itself and therefore lasts for years. Today at Prime Minister's Questions, Gordon Brown seemed to deliberately raise that spectre.
We should agree as a world on a monetary and fiscal stimulus that will take the world out of depression.
Number 10 later clarified that use of the D word was not deliberate, it was a slip of the tongue, the second high-profile slip after the PM said he'd saved the world last year. Indeed, Britain's economy has suffered, but it does seem a long way from a depression. Output has fallen by just over 2% in the current economic downturn. In the 1930s, Britain's economy shrank by more than 5%, but we did well compared to Germany, where output collapsed, dropping by nearly a quarter, and the USA, where the economy shrank by a staggering 30%. Now this is what the Prime Minister's called his Book of the Year for 2009. FDR, the first 100 days of that famous Depression-era presidency. Might begin to explain why the PM has the word depression so close to the top of his mind. But there's another reason too, which is dividing lines between government and opposition over how to deal with what's becoming a rather severe recession. Mr Brown may have heard some dire economic prognoses at Davos. The worse they are, the better the case for a likely second economic stimulus package in the budget, under consideration at the Treasury but preemptively opposed by the opposition. One of Britain's most senior bankers said on Friday that a borrowing-funded economic boost would be required to prevent that D word.
How do we inject Keynesian stimulus into the economy to stop a recession turning into depression in the short term? How do we find the path through to that rebalancing?
Outside the Treasury, there is the odd green shoot. A likely interest rate cut tomorrow, but in this freak economic weather, the message from government is some novel forms of gardening are required for these shoots to prosper.
Faisal Islam. After the break, the Sri Lankan government predicts victory in its decades-long war with the Tamil Tigers.